I could do a pretty decent job.
Went through the process, what was the thinking, what was the script?
AI is messing up a lot of काम मिल गया फिर negotiation दोबारा से चालू हो गई अच्छा हम तो AI यूज कर रहे हैं हद है यार.
Let's go back to the story of Karmachakra, how you went through the process, what was the thinking, what was the script, like how did you write it yourself, was there a bunch of people, and was the first thought behind making that film uh, of making it into an anime format, or earlier you wanted to make it into a live action film? Take us through the journey of Karmachakra.
Okay. It was never an idea for live action.
Okay.
Maybe some elements that I wrote previously for live action may have found its way into the script, but Karma Chakra itself was never meant for live action. Um, a lot of it was, I mean, I had some notions of what I wanted to make it like. In fact, the entire 13 episode series, scripting that out is a much more recent development. In
Hmm.
the beginning, it was just about one movie that I
Hmm.
wanted to do.
Hmm.
But then I saw that, this makes sense as episodes as well. So the first three episodes were written in a way that they had cliffhangers, two cliffhangers in the middle. So it could function as three episodes of a larger series, but it could also function as a self-contained story
Hmm.
which runs for 75 minutes or the length of three episodes. Um, Scripting wise, I have had two people contribute to the script
Hmm.
of the first three, and then I have had one other person contribute to the script when it comes to the entire series. So, but certain core ideas or certain core scenarios that needed writing have been largely myself. But yeah, there's so many aspects to writing that it always is a great idea to have more than one person working on something. I mean, and to have a variety in the number of in the kinds of inputs one can have into the script. When it comes to the language, when it comes to say action sequences, when it comes to various aspects that pack a punch, you know. So my strengths would be writing thrillers or writing sort of mystery and say uh, technicalities
Hmm.
of of plots.
Hmm.
Those things are my strengths, right? If you tell me to write a very compelling and modern feeling action sequence, my associate will do that better than me. I can just tell him this is what I want should happen,
Yeah.
and I have one or two ideas that I can throw in, which I definitely want. I feel they'll make a difference, and people have not seen this before. But the rest of it, God help me, or rather, you help me. Why don't you help me? So that's where we. So and then since we did it in Bengali, uh, mainly because we were connected with the Bengali circuit, and I myself am a Bengali. Um, we so then you need a person that for certain usages or for certain lines in Bengali that should sound more compelling than if I had written it.
Hmm.
You need that kind of thing, you
Hmm.
know. And then for certain, romantic parts or which will happen much later in the film.
Hmm.
Um, Certain of those things, I could do a pretty decent job, but if I have two or three voices
Hmm.
working with me there, then it may be or may not be. But I would still like to try out uh, anything for the product. That's my whole philosophy. Anything for to make the product something that people will sit up and you know it'll grab people's attention and engage them. So,
Right. And how much time
yeah.
did it take for you to go from the script to finally creating the film?
Hmm. Uh, if I put all of the bits of or the times that we extensively worked on it, there were gaps in the middle, right, where nothing was happening on the thing, right? We had our professional and familial commitments and academic commitments, etc.
Right.
If I put if all of those chunks together,
Hmm.
into one mask.
Hmm.
It would say I would say from script to render of the final thing, about 2 years, 1.5 to 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
So
how much a feature film takes. Like, I'm
yeah,
guessing,
yeah,
including
roughly. I
post
mean, it
production.
depends. Yeah, depends.
Yeah.
On
And
average, yes.
yeah, and in terms of cost, sir, without naming the exact figures, of course, if you were to make this film as a live action film, what
Hmm.
proportion does it cost to make it in an anime format, generally? Is it a much
Mm,
cheaper version or is it just very insignificant?
this is a very, I mean, I can't really answer it simply
Hmm.
because uh, animation, anime included, can have a variety of different production methods and budgets.
Okay.
So can live action. Uh, this is very difficult to, answer simply because if you, um, yeah, this would be very difficult to answer simply because there's so much range.
Hmm.
So there's so much range in either medium
Hmm.
that comparing
No, but if you
between
were to make it,
mediums.
if you were to make Karma Chakra in a live action format,
Hmm.
then I think it'll be an easier assessment, right? What is the multiplier that you'd put to your current budget?
Uh, about the same.
About the same. Okay.
Yeah, about the same. Yeah.
Okay. I guess so that will be a significant difference because I don't know. I mean, I'm not no expert in anime, but my guess was that probably it's also an easier way for an emerging filmmaker to make a film rather
No,
than no. Okay.
absolutely not.
Got it. Got it.
Sometimes I feel, the flip side also we feel sometimes that
Okay.
अरे इसको live action में करने से कितना आसान होता
अच्छा.
है.
Okay.
हाँ, yeah. Animation is, I mean, as if not crazier as live action filmmaking.
But smaller team, no? I guess I'm guessing much smaller
Yeah,
team than
so more work for a smaller team, na?
a... Fair enough. Fair enough.
For this maintaining this level of quality. Otherwise, what can 4 5 people do? Not much.
Hmm. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And sir, I have to ask you about what you think of AI. I mean, with Google launching their VO, I mean, you can practically make a live action film looking like an AI film which looks like a live action film
Yeah.
on much lesser cost. Like I think 5%
Uh,
of the cost. Is
hmm.
it possible to make an AI film using anime as well? And if yes, then what's the difference right now in terms of quality, according to your assessment?
Hmm. So AI is messing up a lot of things right now. I don't necessarily look at it as something that shouldn't have happened, that will mess with things. Uh,
Hmm.
because I treat it for what it is. Companies generally do not, because the policy or the spirit becomes to jump on anything. Today it could be NFTs, it could be whatever. Today's AI, tomorrow's ChatGPT, परसों कुछ और है. It's the latest buzzword. So just due to the fact, I mean, a lot of times companies do not need to acquire anymore. They're fine the way they are. But it's a flex. कि अच्छा तुम्हारे पोर्टफोलियो में 50 है, मेरे पोर्टफोलियो में 100 है. फ्लेक्स करना है एट दैट लेवल वे यू डोंट नीड एनी मोर मनी.
Yeah.
और बाकी क्या है ना. तो इट्स दैट spirit that percolates down
Hmm.
to decisions that are being taken without the knowledge of the capabilities and non-capabilities of AI in various fields as it exists today. So there are things AI can do. There are things AI absolutely cannot do at the moment.
Okay.
Uh,
Which are those? What is it that it
so
can do and what is it that it can't do?
correct. So AI uh, can, when it comes to stills, let's go to animation later. When it comes to stills, it can give you, probably it can replace a lot of concept art. Like when we do pre-production, you can just when we're sketching out stuff,
Hmm.
so to see what comes out before we develop it into character design, etc., which are much more serious processes. For sketching, prototyping, that kind of stuff, great. But when it comes to an actual illustration that you can just commercially sell, not there yet. Okay, not there yet. You need retouching. You need a whole bunch of things to happen to that,
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
the product of AI. When it comes to animation, there are certain products being developed, not here, but in Japan and the US, where it's going to act as a tool in our, eventually act as a tool in our workflow. It's not there yet, but AI interpolation is happening. So in betweening is happening. So frame one, frame two, we draw the keyframes, and the middle frames, AI gives you as many frames as you want. You want 60 frames per second, it will give you. 24, it will give you. Right? Uh, some purposes it works, but a lot of purposes where the animation is slower or more complex won't work. It's still being developed, right? Pre-production AI is doing good. Again, concept art is pre-production, but out here there are certain companies that are developing products. They're still in Discord. Like when I first discovered Mid Journey, it was before it came out to the public. It was in a Discord beta, right? I tried that out.
Hmm.
These things are still in a Discord beta. The things I'm talking about,
Hmm.
right? So you have, let's say you sketch a character
Hmm.
and you want to create an entire uh, mood board out of it. You want to create a pre-visualization file out of it where you just sketch the character, but then you gave it colors, and then it can draw you five different perfect things where that same character is maintaining color in different poses in different locations with different light, right? So for pre-visualization or for giving to clients, fantastic.
Hmm.
It works for pre-production, but animation not there yet.
Okay.
Another problem that we face, even up till recently, animations are being made by us. They're commissioned to us to do for brands, and then somewhere at the agency level, etc., there is this decision that it will be our work will be fed to AI, and it brings the quality from 100 to 10, not even 10% of that quality, and that is put out, and the public hates it. They're like, "Acha, you are also doing AI now." Big brands, I won't name them,
Yeah. Yeah.
but big brands are doing this. They're taking AI just because they have to use AI. It's not serving any purpose. Sure, I don't mind if you pay me for my work and then you process it using AI and you get a better product. I'm happy for both you and myself because I didn't need to do any extra work. हाँ, and neither did you. Cost मैंने अपने खुद के प्रोडक्शन में ही, like I did a photo shoot for a brand
Hmm.
recently. हाँ, ऐसे ही side hustle, right? एंड मेरे को कमीशन करना था किसी को टू 500 प्रोडक्ट थे, ठीक है, 500 प्रोडक्ट का फोटोशूट, प्रोडक्ट शूट, ठीक है, एक के बाद एक, यू जस्ट सेट अप लाइट्स एंड कैमरा एंड एवरीथिंग, एंड हाउ डू यू, it'll take like maybe at least a few weeks to crop and edit all of them and
Hmm.
fix brightness and all of those things. 500 प्रोडक्ट है, ठीक है, तो I would, pay somebody a certain amount of money to do that. Not all that much cheaper, but certainly cheaper. And in much less time, I found an AI software that did that for me.
Okay.
One click, 500 प्रोडक्ट क्यू में बैठ गए, ठीक है, that it's doing those things. So I'm very much for AI. But what I don't like is when people jump onto AI just because, you know,
Hmm.
just because everyone's jumping on it, it's not even capable for what you have in mind,
Hmm.
for what you want to achieve, but you expect it to do that. एंड तुम अपने पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मारो, मतलब वो कोई पॉइंट नहीं बनता।
Fair
हाँ,
enough.
तो ये बहुत होता है एंड इट डज अफेक्ट द इंडस्ट्री, इट डज अफेक्ट क्रिएटर्स लाइक अस,
Hmm.
because they'll want more and more things to be passed over to the AI, and we know it's not there yet. If it was, you would have no problem. कल
I
से
mean,
मैं,
it will make your life easier only because even if it
हाँ,
gives you a rough draft, you can work on it later on and fine tune
एग्जैक्टली,
it.
एग्जैक्टली, एंड देन there'll be, जो अपने देश में बहुत होता है, negotiations post submission, you know कि काम मिल गया फिर सबमिशन चालू, फिर नेगोशिएशन दोबारा से चालू हो गया, कि अच्छा हम तो एआई यूज कर रहे हैं, हद है यार, you know. तो होता है ऐसा. देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ, आई थिंक देयर आर वेरी फ्यू नेम्स, वेरी गुड brands, Indian brands
Hmm.
that we work with, that are that often pay us more than our domestic brands, because they are also established outside. Indian companies that have gone abroad, they work much better for us and they give us much more volume of work than overseas से कुछ यहाँ पे आ रहा है, एजेंसी में आ रहा है, बिग ब्रांड्स एज वेल. ओके, एजेंसी में आ रहा है और फिर वो फिल्टर होके किसी प्रोडक्शन हाउस से हम पे आ रहा है. हाँ, सबलेट हो रहा है. दैट इज अ वेरी मेस्ड अप वर्क फ्लो, बिकॉज वहां पे ना तो यहाँ के लोगों को पता है क्या हो रहा है, ना तो जिनको सबलेट कर रहे हैं हमें उनको पता है. उनको एनिमे चाहिए, एनिमे क्या है नहीं पता उनको. ठीक है, somehow we still manage to give a product that will sell, क्योंकि थ्रू दिस चैनल्स ही वो वापस अब ओवरसीज जाए. तो दे विल बी हैप्पी इफ वी डेल्ट विद देम डायरेक्टली ओनली. हाँ, अगर मैं इनको बोल देता कि ठीक है यार, तुम प्रोजेक्ट ला रहे हो, तुम कमीशन रखो, बट डोंट ट्राई एंड सेल अ प्रोडक्ट दैट यू डोंट नो अबाउट. है ना, हमें डायरेक्ट क्लाइंट के साथ काम करने दो, दे यू विल गेट द बेस्ट प्रोडक्ट. बट तुम्हें अपना डालना भी है, अपने थ्योरीज डालने हैं, which messes with the workflow because you don't know what the product is. You've never worked in this thing. Huh. And I can't talk about money in conversations with the client because they'll know how much you're. तो ऐसे खुले में कमीशन ले लो यार, but at least go with a workflow that works better instead of trying to fit in these things that you don't know much about. So that happens a lot with us. We suffer on certain projects, we recover on other projects. You win some, you lose some. And then there's Indian brands that we work with, that are expanding and being invested in, etc., etc. Superb, superb experience. So it's a mixed bag, I would say.
Got it. I think in the next 4 to 5 years, I think it will get more stable as to how we can
Hmm.
use AI to the best of for the best of us as a creator as well as for businesses and brands. Uh,
Creators know everything about AI, but it's
okay.
the companies that don't. The companies that hire creators don't have that much information.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. Lastly, sir, I also want to ask you finally about Karmachakra. What's the future? What are the plans of release? When do you intend to release it? Has it already released in a few countries? You said is doing the festival rounds in Korea, I think.
Festival rounds it was doing in number of years back.
Mm-hmm.
वो the pilot to won awards in LA, etc.
Okay.
The feature was sent a bunch of places, and Korea may, it got into finals, and there it got accolades and stuff like that. So that was the larger film. And it did the rounds in a lot of places, but that was like a number of years back. Now we're not putting anything out there in the film festival.
Got it. So the
So
plan is
yeah,
now to make the release the film or the 13 episodes to
the
finish
13
the
episodes, the 13
13
episodes,
episodes. They're
because
ready?
it's been chalked out. हाँ, पूरा scripting तैयार है.
अच्छा,
So
scripting.
scripting पूरा पूरा तैयार है. So scripting doesn't take that much money, but once pre-production begins after that, that's where the money comes in.
Hmm.
कि आप स्टोरी बोर्ड्स बनाओगे, फिर वहां से आपका एनिमेशन चालू होगा, वो सब कुछ. तो आई मीन वी आर नॉट प्लानिंग टू sort of indefinitely fund our own stuff. So yeah, I mean, तीन बना चुके हैं. इनफैक्ट व्हेन वी रिलीज उनको भी थोड़ा और एनहांस करके करेंगे. What you see on YouTube will be probably 2x better when we actually release it as part of the series.
Wow. It already
Yeah,
looks so amazing, sir. I discovered it very recently and I saw in the description then that it's 5 years ago.
yeah.
Uh, so I would say it's probably at par with a Death Note. When
Yeah.
I first saw it, probably better because Death Note released like 20 years ago. Uh,
Mm,
so I think you've already done it, and I don't know of any other production houses who've actually made such a longer format episode or a film which you're planning now.
mhm,
Actually, the 13 episodes that you're planning now. So
mhm,
already a step in the right direction, and I feel like myself, cinephiles will want to uh, properly adopt this format in India as well, so that they can see more nuanced storytelling
mm,
in an animated format as well.
Hmm.
So really excited for it. On a personal note, sir, I'd also like to ask you. I'm a writer myself, and recently made a short film that is doing the festival rounds. We won an award at the
Oh,
Anasai
great.
Falke Festival as well.
Arey वाह.
So we are doing the festival rounds for that short film, and apart from that,
हाँ.
I've written a bunch of feature film scripts as well.
अच्छा.
Would you suggest me to take use AI to make it, or should I try to keep pitching to production houses? Because it's a very unstructured industry. I've seen, like, I have not really been able to get through to the right people so far, and I don't even know how to. Is anime the right way for me? Should I probably pitch to somebody like you? Or is going to a Netflix or a Prime Video better way to do it? On a
That
very
that's
candid,
a
very candid
that's a
format of
lot
answer.
of questions.
I'm just asking for advice.
हाँ हाँ नहीं. Let's just tackle these questions one by one. First of
Sure.
all, it won't make sense if you come to me because I am in the same position as you are. We are creators, no? We're not producers. If
Right.
we were, then we would look for content, but we make content. No? So that's the thing, and we ourselves are having a tough time
Hmm.
with doing our kinds of stories. But
Hmm.
you may not. You may be part of a production. You can look for um, production houses that do stories that you vibe with because the stage that you're at with your writing and writing is the toughest to make it in, by the way. I always feel that art is here, music is here, and writing is here. It's very tough to make it as a writer. Okay. Um, but if you do, then it can surpass all of this, if you do make it as a writer. But so what the takeaway here is that, it would make sense for you then to, if you're not looking at being super commercially successful right away, at least be involved with people that do stuff that you like being a part of. हाँ, तो वही चीज है. There's so many production houses. When it comes to like what kind of writing or stuff, or should you use AI, which I feel is the same question.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, Me personally, not just with Studio Durga, uh, I tend to function in a niche marketing kind of a way, which is that make a product that is जिससे तुम्हारा monopoly हो जाए. हाँ. Even the projects that come to India are coming to us and maybe two, three other studios in the all of India. So we provide a service that is rare. So, but then I think it creates you define things very well.
Hmm.
That it is a commercial product. It's not an art house film or it's not out there. It
Yeah.
is a commercial product, but it defines itself in a way that it's not easily replicable or it's not. You don't have that much competition. It's good to have competition,
Hmm.
but if you're going the niche way,
Hmm.
which is my way,
Hmm.
then my advice to you would be that do something that sort of is defined and its definition is its strength. If your scripts have that one touch that is different from, then people will hire you for that. They won't know what it is.
Hmm.
Only you will know what it is. So coming to AI, to write certain sections or to take references or to take ideas and stuff. Uh, if you feel like you've already done enough or you don't have that much time to watch a lot of film uh, and for inspiration and things like that. Because inspiration is one of those things, you can't force it. I mean, you're just casually watching film and, suddenly something clicks with you and that inspires you and some notebook leke baith gaye. Uh,
Right.
So, it's not the only way it should happen because if you're commercially doing it, then you don't have time to take a walk in the garden and whatever. So, but essentially, it's about defining what you want to, more and more defining what you want to. And if you use AI, then problem becomes that anyone could use AI. So you will have five other people that would have that are doing things like you are.
Hmm.
So if you're asking for advice from me, then my take on it would obviously be a niche way of doing that, because that's the way I do things. It's not what everybody does, but scripting is a core part of filmmaking. Uh, yeah, this approach could apply to scripting. That you do something that people can not put a finger on
Hmm.
exactly, that people cannot copy, or it is not copyable,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that's when it will feel original. It's not that you're not copying,
Hmm.
but you're unable to be copied.
Hmm.
That's original, I would say.
I understand. I understand. Got it, sir. This was lovely. I had a great time.
Likewise.
I hope you. Thanks a lot, sir, and would love to host you again soon. And really looking forward to the release of the next few episodes of Karma Chakra.
Yeah, so are we. Yeah.
Would have loved to see the movie also in cinemas, but I think
If you come down in Goa, if you come down to Goa sometime,
uh,
I can show you a
done.
private viewing of the
Perfect,
cinematic.
perfect. Sounds
Yeah.
good, sir. Sounds good.
All
Thanks a
right.
lot, sir. Thanks a lot. Have a good
Thank you.
day.
It was a pleasure. You too.